I'm here with Dave Birch. We're at MPE in Berlin. It's a beautiful sunny day, as it has been for the last X number of years that we've been coming here. And Dave, give us your views, brief thoughts on being at MPE in 2025.
I mean, this is the 18th of these, so I can't believe how they've made it into such a... I mean, every year you come to MPE, I mean, it's our business, right? So every year you come to MPE, you think you know pretty much what's going on in the space. And every year you come in, you realize, oh my God, there's so much going on that I didn't even know about. Just, this is only the first morning and we've been through AI, stablecoins, digital wallets, European digital identity. It's an incredible place. Philip's got more than 1,400 people here this year, 400 merchants. He's done an amazing job. I love him. I genuinely do love MPE. I'm flattered to be the MC.
Yes, it's a brilliant show. As you said, always learning something new when you're here. I already listened to your panel session this morning and I want to pick up on two areas that I thought were very interesting. First of all, just identity in general. What are your thoughts on how that's shifted and what the general view is on identity now?
Well, I think there were sort of 3 points came out of that discussion. So one is, which I think we knew anyway, which is that identity is critical to the future of the sector. Everybody knows the fraud figures and blah, blah, blah. Something has to be done about identity. The second thing is something is being done in the sense of the European digital identity wallet. And actually, that's one of the things I'm looking forward to learning more about over the next couple of weeks, whether that's really going to make any difference. But I thought the wild card from Bank of America was, this digital identity isn't about just people anymore. It's not just about businesses anymore. It's also about AIs. And we have to rethink some of the way we're looking at it. I don't know. It's fascinating. The whole identity thing is so interesting.
So you mentioned the European identity. I think it's called, it's under the eIDAS 2.0, and that's looking very imminent. What are your thoughts on that as an initiative? Does it look like it's another kind of European Pepsi, or is it EPI, or moving in that direction? Or is it something that we as consumers need in the market and therefore it should be valued?
Well, the European Digital Identity Wallet, I think the fundamental model of it, which is this shift towards verifiable credentials and away from identifying in every transaction, that's like a good thing. But it's only part of what's going on. You've got the European Age Verification Act coming along, which interestingly is also going to use the ISO mobile driving license standards. I think that's an interesting sort of signal. There's going to be this European travel app coming along as well. In the UK, we've got the government identity app coming along in the summer. So it's a very vigorous time. Now, who's going to win that is not obvious, but my personal suspicion is that we're not going to end up with, we never ended up with one credit card in our wallet. You had a handful for different, and I sort of think it's going to be like that. I can sort of see why you'd want a travel app wallet kind of thing, and maybe like a health and personal, you don't want those all jumbled up together. And then maybe you'll have something from Apple or Google so I don't think we're looking at one wallet. What I think we are looking at is like an explosion of different wallets, which allow us to explore a lot of different ways of doing things.
Just one final question, a bit of a curveball because I said I wouldn't ask it, so I'll just pause before I do. I thought it was very interesting what Wally from Bank of America was saying, and I think his exact statement was, do we already own our ID, or have we in some way given that up? And I think from a consumer point of view, the sooner we get to the understanding that in some way or another, we've already given our ID up, a lot of these digital versions get a lot easier and a lot more palatable from the point of the consumer.
It's about control. So, a lot of people come on stage at identity events and say, we need to put people in charge of their identity. And I think that's crazy. I think most people, and I include me, by the way, do not have the persistent competence necessary to manage that. I don't want it to be my problem if I drop my identity down the toilet, basically. I want to be able to go to somebody and get it back again. Obviously, I sort of think banks are the best people about doing this. Yes, we've given but the thing is, it should be controlled. I want my identity to be managed by a regulated institution that has rules and ombudsman and ethical standards and responsibility. So I agree with him. I just think we're not quite there yet in sort of institutional terms.
Brilliant. Thanks, Dave. Finally, a brief word on the Payments Power 50. You've been picked as an influencer there.
No, I'm flattered by that. I genuinely am, because, I mean, I know we sort of make fun about it all the time, but I do think payments is, you don't remember the times when payments was boring. Payments is so interesting now, and it's so integral to the evolution of commerce and business. I think I'm genuinely flattered to be included again.
Thank you very much, Dave Birch.
Was that okay?
Yeah, how did you guys find it?
I think a couple of them are a little too long. I think we need to make it a bit more soundbitey.
You want to go back?
I think let's do the wallet one again. I think the others were okay, but the wallet one
So the
needs
wallet
to be
one,
shorter.
Number two. I think it's just a bit like you've mentioned two things. Let's come on to. Let's start with.
Let's just do that again, but
with-
try and make it.
with,
I'll try and
digital
make it a
wallet.
bit snappier.
Okay. So I'll ask the question just slightly shorter,
Yep.
because I'll just say, what do you think about digital? What's your views on digital wallets or something like that? Yeah. Okay. What's your views on digital wallets?
Well, I think the panel discussion made clear that we have to stop thinking about wallets as being about payments and cards. Wallets are about so much more than that. In fact, if you look in your physical wallet, or if you look in my physical wallet, there's no cash in there at all. Everything that's in there is actually identity of one form or another. It's identification, credentials, it's credit cards, it's tickets, it's receipts. And so this point about the digital wallet being, if you like, the kind of orchestration mechanism for all of these things means it's going to mean good changes, but big changes. So what does it mean for identity? Well, we have the European Digital Identity Wallet coming along soon. In the UK, we've got the government identity app thing coming along soon. So we're going to have a lot of new stuff to play with quite quickly.